Hello, my name is Mohammad Yasin and I'm here in Safma from Karachi.
Hello guys, I'm Swanladeep and I've stayed in Sagar and overall it was a great experience being at Safma.
My name is Mohammad Waqas Arshad. Nowadays we are working on our final documentary studying Khoi.
Another customer, another sale of meat. But this street seller is not selling food, he is selling salvation. This commercial practice is called sadqa. A refusal to buy could invite a curse, insists the street seller.
इससे मुसीबत टलती रहती है खुदा न खास्ता कोई मुसीबत हो बंदे को सदका लाजमी करना चाहिए
These street sellers earn more than an average income from their rotten meat.
ये कभी 200 का 300 का कभी 400 का कभी 500 का कभी 1000 का भी बिक जाता है वैसे का आदमी लेता नहीं वो कहता है ये वो वाला है ये रंग लगाते हैं वो कहते हैं ताज़ा है
The seller takes no pride in this street form of sadqa.
सदका होता है चनों का काले काले माँ लाल दाल और चनों की दाल सिरी काला बकरा ऐसे ही कोई 7 चीज़ों का आता है
This practice, previously confined to the rural areas, has entered the cities in recent months.
ये तो हर एक का अपना अपना अंदाज है हम ये समझते हैं कि इस तरह अगर ये परिंदों को गोश्त वगैरह डाल दिया जाएगा या चिड़ियों कबूतरों को बाजरा डाल दिया जाएगा ये भी एक सदक़े की किस्म है
The sadqa, the way we practice it, is a kind of a defense against those worries and anxieties and fears. A person feels that he is, by offering sadqa, by offering qurbani, sacrifice, he is making sure that no harm will come to him, his near and dear ones, his country, his society, and the humanity in general. He feels that there are forces that he cannot control, and by offering sadqa, he can control those forces. People who are, as I said, more aware of their surroundings, they do not succumb to these things, but people who are unaware, unsuspecting, they are usually the victims of these so-called magicians and sorcerers.
But Javed Ahmed Ghamidi, a prominent Islamic scholar, insists that this offering of meat has no place in Islam.
सदक़े के मानी बस सिर्फ ये हैं कि आपने अपने माल में से अल्लाह की राह में ख़र्च करने का फ़ैसला कर लिया आप ज़कात देते हैं ये भी सदका है आप वैसे अल्लाह की राह में ख़र्च करते हैं ये भी सदका है आप किसी दीन की खिदमत में कुछ रुपया लगाते हैं वो भी सदका है आप किसी गरीब की मदद करते हैं वो भी सदका है ये जो हमारे यहाँ सदक़े की इस्तिलाह इस्तेमाल की जाती है इसकी कुरान और सुन्नत में कोई बुनियाद नहीं है कि आप काला बकरा ज़िबा कर दें और आप परिंदों को छोड़ दें और आप किसी के ऊपर कुछ पार के किसी को दे दें इस तरह की जितनी चीज़ें हैं ये हिंदुस्तान की ईजाद हैं ये न कुरान में है न किसी हदीस में है ये बेबुनियाद चीज़ें हैं आपके गिरदो पेश में वो लोग मौजूद हैं कि जिनके पास रात के खाने का नहीं है और आप गोश्त बांटते फिर रहे हैं चीलों और कौवों को तो ये चीज़ तो नाकाबिल माफ़ी जुर्म बन जाएगी
They know it's illegal, but when are the rest of us going to stop buying their rotten meat?
Hi, my name is Kausal Batul and I'm working on my documentary which is about AIDS and its name is AIDS Blades.
I am Zishan Mahmood and I have enjoyed a lot in Safna.
My name is Urood Zahra and I am here at SEFMA. I'm working on my documentary which is AIDS Blades, and it's all about the roadside barbers.
The world of today is threatened with the fast-growing danger of HIV/AIDS. It's ignorance which causes this deadly infection in most victims. Barber blades are proving to be a deadly source of HIV/AIDS and hepatitis C. Ashraf is a regular customer of a roadside barber and he is very satisfied with the whole process.
I come here for shave after every 2 days. Yes, I enjoy my shaving here. I am satisfied with the instrument and this is economical as well. I pay 10 rupees whereas at shops they cost 20 rupees. Yes, they use new blade for everyone and it is not harmful.
नुकसानदेह नहीं है ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੁਕਾਨ ਤੇ ਸ਼ੇਵ ਕਰਵਾਉਣ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ
Professional barber shops are expensive as they charge from 20 to 50 rupees per shave. Poor people cannot afford it. That's why we are dependent on the roadside barbers who shave us according to our pocket.
At the same time, such barbers believe that their practice is safe.
I clean my all instruments in evening. I use new blades every day. Yes, I use everything new for every customer. I use antiseptic in routine to clean my tools.
According to doctors, it is risky to shave with a used blade.
Naturally, God has given us a physical barrier. To cross that barrier, a prerequisite is to have a breach or cut on the skin. Germs will enter easily through the wound. Mainly there are two conditions for infection, which are cut on skin and entrance of germ inside that cut. At barber shop, it is much likely to happen. Roadside barbers are even more exposed because he is shaving many other people and nobody knows that how many of his customers are patients of hepatitis B, C or HIV/AIDS. In the process, his instruments, towels and hands carry a lot of germs.
I went to a professional barber shop to find out more about this problem.
First of all, we sterilize all instruments of shaving and cutting. We also clean them with antiseptic and change the razor for every customer.
I wanted to find out what the government had to say about this alarming threat to the nation's health.
I think National AIDS Control Program does exist, but we need to improve its working. We do not have Health Minister in Punjab right now, but certainly in near future, after setting up the political system completely, our policies and concrete steps will be in front of people. और हमारे concrete steps जो हैं वो भी आपको नजर आएंगे.
Hi, this is Mohammad Imran and I'm in group 2. and my final project is about school.
My name is Mohammad Faraz, and I'm from Karachi, and I am here to learn something. Of course, about journalism. And right now, I'm so tension because of my documentary.
I'm Shazia Basir. I enjoyed this course a lot. I learned many things regarding production.
My name is Farooq, and I am working with the group 2, and our documentary is about the children who are below poverty line, and they are working as to earn for their family, but we are making a film on them. Pakistan, the 6th most populous country in the world and 3rd in Asia. There is a lack of basic resources of life. The downfall came to every department, including education. It is also a fact that there are many children who are earning money for their families.
नहीं भाजी स्कूल नहीं जा रहे हैं भाजी रोजगारी इन्नी है कि मेहनत मजदूरी करी दी है खोती रेडी वाई दी है लेकिन उन्हें वक्त नहीं पास होता बच्चे कैसे पढ़ाइए
In a country where government could not get full success to provide all facilities, the private sector narrowed down the gap. Farah Diba is also one of them who initiated the idea of Alam Bibi Welfare Trust. Students not only get free education, but they are also provided with the basic necessities like flour. The school situated in the suburb of Lahore, where most of the people do poorly paid jobs and resist to send their children to school. Amna, a 7-year-old child, is studying in class 3 in the same school. Her parents were first not convinced to send her to the school, but now Amna is going to school along with her 3 sisters.
खुशी ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਟਾਈਮ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਛੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ
ਮਾਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਬੱਚੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਵੀ ਅੱਛੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ
Amna not only takes education in the school but also participates in domestic works like sewing and washing. Amna wants to become a teacher. It is not the story of one child, but many who are not fortunate enough like Amna to go to the school. There is a question to be asked that what plans government initiated about these underprivileged children.
पंजाब एजुकेशन फाउंडेशन जो है वो रिमोट एरियाज़ के स्कूल चुनते हैं उनको फिर वो जो है वो पैसे देते हैं और वो कहते हैं कि भाई आप मुफ्त तालीम दो बच्चों को बच्चों की फ़ीस हम देंगे बच्चों की किताबें हम देंगे ये मियाँ शहबाज शरीफ साहब का आइडिया है और मैं समझता हूँ कि ये बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त किस्म का आइडिया है
On the other side, there are people who are using their own resources for flourishing education.
हमें कभी भी गवर्नमेंट या किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या बड़ी एनजीओ की सपोर्ट नहीं मिली इवन कि हम हर साल जो एक फेयर प्रोसेस है उसके थ्रू अप्लाई करते हैं कि हमें कुछ डोनेट किया जाए कुछ फंड्स ग्रांट किए जाएँ ताकि इस जगह को इम्प्रूव किया जाए
एक तरफ से तो एनजीओ जो हैं वो फॉरेन डोनर्स जितने हैं उनसे वो सारी हेल्प ले रही है मुख्तलिफ तरीक़ों से और फिर वो सिवाय चंद एक एनजीओज़ के वो आगे डिलीवर नहीं कर रहे हालांकि उनको डिलीवर करना चाहिए लेकिन वो डिलीवर नहीं करते और आगे जाके वो फंड्स मिसअप्रोप्रिएट करते हैं
It is quite difficult to draw a conclusion line where resources are unevenly distributed and where these are used inappropriately. There is no proper mechanism to provide basic necessities to poor people. Amna and many others who became the victim of the system, it is up to you
Either you take part in the system or simply criticize it.
So to change the system, you have to be the part of the system.